had been a very large and thickly populated town, but now it was reduced to almost nothing, for there are at the present time scarce 200 houses here, and the inhabitants are kept in complete servitude. China. The Mongol armies were spread far and wide, although with the kind of postal system they'd invented, they were able to stay in touch. This is one reason how they managed to become so formidable. The conquests in China went on for over 70 years, from 1205 to 1279, during which time the Mongols conquered various dynasties and kingdoms. Again, they engaged in what's called annihilative warfare, meaning they massacred most of the inhabitants of the cities they plundered and burned to the ground. The Mongols created their own dynasty in China under Kublai Khan and his Yuan dynasty. This would collapse and be replaced by the Ming dynasty, which would rule China from 1368 to 1644. The Hongwu Emperor, the founder of the Ming dynasty, executed thousands upon thousands of people he believed were plotting against him. This often consisted of slow slicing and flaying. He even ordered that any man found to have his hair in the typical Mongol style, the partially shaved style with bits of hair hanging out, be castrated. You can understand his fear. It's thought the Mongols killed around 30 million Chinese people over those 70-odd years from a population of around 120 million. It all started under Genghis, a man and his army who the Chinese didn't think had a chance of breaking through the country's fortifications, notably the Great Wall of China. Beating China was by no means easy, but Genghis knew it could be done, once writing, "I had trained my men to attack with the speed of the wind. Now they had to learn the guile of the wolf." They went from city to city slaughtering everyone. As China was so divided, they employed Chinese armies and they employed Chinese weapons makers, men who had great scientific knowledge, which is probably how those weapons advancements got to Europe. When they couldn't get past a wall, they waited, starving the people in the city. The Mongol armies were well prepared for long campaigns. They set up camp outside cities, living in tents known as yurts. Each soldier was equipped with tools for cooking and sewing, a file to make arrowheads, and a leather food bag that could double as a flotation device. They had 2 bottles for water and other liquids, and each had a cooking pot. Their entire life could be lived on the road. This is how they crossed great swaths of territory, often riding 60 to 75 miles a day. If the soldiers' dry ration ran out, such as their meat, they'd even drink blood from their horse's neck. While not as civilized as some of the nations they defeated, they usually had the upper hand in a fight. Iraq. In 1258, the Mongols laid siege to the city of Baghdad, where again they slaughtered almost everyone. Baghdad was an advanced city of the age. The Mongolians burned down its libraries, destroyed important books on science, medicine, history, and philosophy. A modern historian described the carnage in a way we think is representative of how the Mongols worked. They swept through the city like hungry falcons attacking a flight of doves, or like raging wolves attacking sheep, with loose reins and shameless faces, murdering and spreading terror.